Alright, first of all, before starting the tier list, I would like to mention a couple of things. Last time when I made the Dominion tier list, it took the video 1 hour and a half almost. So obviously it's very long because I have to go in depth on every hero, and that can take a lot because there are 30 heroes in the game. And this time I will just try to talk a little bit less about it. I'll just say what the changes to the meta and how they reacted, how these characters reacted to them, and why they're good or bad in this season. I'll assume if you want more in-depth explanation, you can watch the other Dominion tier list. This tier list is gonna be different from that one, but some pros and cons, most pros and cons from each hero, they still remain. But there were two big changes to the meta this season that affected a lot of heroes. First was the option select removal, and second was the addition of Raider and Orochi rework, which spoiler alert, they're very good and have claimed their place in the meta for sure. So let's start. First of all, we have 6 tiers. We have from S to E. On S it means it's a mandatory pick, and on E it means it's garbage. So first character in S tier is gonna be Raider. Okay, let's get him. So Raider got reworked, and right now he's just very good at everything. He is a good team fighter. He is a very good 1v1er, probably one of the best. He's very good 2v2er. He's not the best in ganking, but can do a lot of damage, because right now in the meta you have a lot of bash gankers, and Raider is a character that has a lot of damage, so he just synergizes very well with all the other gankers, because he is like a normal hero but just has a shit ton of damage. So he's a very good gank assister, if that makes sense. And yeah, he's just incredibly strong right now. I'm sure it's no surprise for him to be in S tier. I've played him, every competitive team plays him, so he's pretty much mandatory. And yeah, let's continue. The second character that is mandatory and was last season as well, sure it's no surprise, it's Shugoki. So thing about Shugoki has a very good gank. He is one of the best pseudo gankers in the game and has, let's say, a relatively powerful gank, but he also shines in other areas. He's a very good team fighter, has a lot of HP, has very good feats, he has the best feat in tier 4, and 1 GP can kill you. If you get 1 GP, he can do his heavy that will launch you forward, and your team and his teammate can kill you, can hit you and kill you doing that animation. So basically a GB in teamfight for Shugoki means a lot of damage taken. Alright, those are the two S tiers. As I said, I will be talking a bit less this time, so we will have a shorter video. Now moving on to A tier. The first A tier character is also a hero that got reworked. It's Orochi. So this might be a bit surprising for some people. Some people didn't really expect Orochi to be meta. I didn't expect Orochi to be this good, but just because of how safe he is and the fact that he can recover cancel every attack makes it so annoying to punish him. And this makes him for a very good team fighter. He has a very good gank as well. He has a gank where like you can GB for Storming Rush to apply enough hit stun to get a heavy. And then after that he can bash like a couple of times for other heavies for you as well. So he has a really good pseudo gank. He's a really good team fighter. He's a really good 1v1er. And yeah, I mean, he just has very good qualities everywhere. I'd say his only downside would be very good fits, but he does have some good fits. Alright, moving on. Next character that is A tier is Janjun. Let me just find him. He is here. So Janjun has been in the meta for 1 season now. Right now the meta is around big team fighters because you have characters like Shugoki and Orochi that just have good pseudo ganks, and combined you might just not need a ganker anymore at all. So right now this is what Nemesis plays. These 4 characters. This is what El Collectors is playing as well. I'm not fully sure if this is what Nature's team is playing as well, which got 2nd place last Stomp series. So yeah, but this is our comp. This is, I believe, the best comp right now. So yeah, Jung is still pretty good. He still has really good damage. The OS changes made him way better because he has, I'm not way better, but it made his offense better. Every character with an unblockable benefited from this. Right, moving on, we have Mr. Where is he? Zanhu. So Mr. Zanhu is also really good. I'd say Zanhu and Jung are very similar characters. The one thing that made us pick Jung over Zanhu is because of his fits. I think Jung has a really good tier 1 and a really good tier 2 and a really good tier 3. Tier 4 is slightly worse. He has phalanx and he has the firebomb unique. Not firebomb unique, like the fire flask unique for Zanhu. Which is better because it's an offensive fit, but other than that, I think Zanhu is better. Zanhu is also worse than Jung is also worse than Zanhu in 1v1s, but in 2v2s he can be slightly better than Zanhu. Right. Moving on. Oh, and in big team fights he is also very good. They're both very similar. They both can trade and cancel very easily. And one very big thing to mention is that he has 20 extra health, and that's important. That's really important. All right. Moving on. B tier. First character in B tier is going to be. Let me find him. Gladiator here. Right, Gladiator. Well, Gladiator got buffed. I mean, that's for sure. Like, after OS removal, he's definitely has improved because he now has a 30 damage unblockable that is easily accessed. So that's very good. You also cannot really parry his post zone very easily now. He's still the best tanker in the game. He has okay team fights. Not the best, but okay team fights. He has very good stalling potential, and the only thing that would be minus is that he's an assassin and has reflex guard. I mean, assassin, because being an assassin and having it's not the reflex guard that is a problem, it's the assassin renown that is a problem. But that will be changed. It's right now in TG they're messing with Renown and they're trying to standardize it for each class, and once that happens, assassins will definitely benefit. Alright, next character is Berserker, same situation like Gladiator. He benefited a lot from the OS removal. He is a very good 1v1 character. He's a good team fighter. He has okay pseudo gank, but again just suffers because he's an assassin. Right. Moving on, Aramusha. So Aramusha is also he's a really good ganker. He has his gank is with his bash from heavy. Basically what you can do is infinite chain it with a teammate. So basically if you bash him once, which is unreactable, so the opponent has to make a read all the time, after one bash you can just keep chaining your bash. And it's always guaranteed because of teammates hits down with a heavy. So basically what happens is Aramusha bashes, teammate heavy, Aramusha bashes, teammate heavy, Aramusha bashes, teammate heavy, and so on until he gets revenge or dies. He's a weaker team fighter though, so that's his minus. Okay, 1v honor, not okay, he's a good 1v honor. But it's also that he has block blockade in a meta where a lot of characters are using unblockable attacks. So that's not the best right now. If the meta shifts, this guy also shifts. Also, if the changes from the TG come and ganking will be more important, this character is definitely gonna rise. Alright, moving on. Black Power. So Black Power benefited a little from offensive wise with his unblockable, but benefited a lot defensive wise with his flip. He now has it's not necessarily an option select, but he has just as risky as a parry option, but instead of giving you, let's say, heavy parry damage, it gives you 24 damage. So that is also very good. Also, flipping in team fights is extremely good. and Flick got better, therefore Blackfire got better. Alright, moving on. Shaman. So Shaman hasn't really been tested, but I mean, hasn't been tested in Force. In once, obviously, she has been tested, but she has gained so much from the OS removal change. Just because you cannot parry, option select all her attack, all her mix-up here. Her mix-up became super strong because it's unreactable and super favored to Shaman. She still is a really good ganker, so that is really important. She's a really good 1v1er. She's a mediocre team fighter, and that's a problem, but she's a really good chaser. So, but one problem she has is that she doesn't have good fits on tier 4. I mean, on tier 4 she has Flask, but Raider is gonna take the Flask and he's mandatory. But let's say if you're not playing Raider, Shaman is still, it could be really good if you have the Flask on. Other than that, it's kind of bad that she has an elbow on other feats. Her bombs are okay, they're not what they used to be, and she has second win. Right, moving on. Another character that I think is in mid tier is Nobushi. Nobushi is just a really good team fighter. The OS removal helped her a bit. I mean, she has another defensive option which matters more now, which is hidden stance, and that's very good in team fights. But obviously where she shines in is just in team fights. In 1v1s she's mediocre, in 1v2s she's good, she's okay in ganking, she's similar to Raider where she can do a lot of damage, and actually she has like good pseudo ganks. She has bleed, which is really important because you can attack with bleed and deal no revenge, which is really important in team fight. That alone is like a lot for a character. To have a bleed attack in a team fight is good, especially one as easily accessible and with so much range and so much speed as Nobushi, and so much damage, and it also amplifies her damage. So I'm sure you guys can see why I placed her on B tier. Right, moving on, that is it for B tier. We're going now to C tier, and first character for C tier is Centurion. So Centurion is similar like Gladiator, he's a very good ganker. He's a worse team fighter than Gladiator, he's a worse 1vxer than Gladiator, he's a better 1v1er than Gladiator, and has worse fits. So, but has one good benefit is his hybrid, I think. So it means he's getting hybrid Renown, which is very good. Hybrid Renown is probably the third best in the game. I'd say the best would be Heavy or Vanguard, then a hybrid. But still, hybrid is still way better than Assassin Renown. Alright, next character, it is Warmonger. Where is she? Here she is. So Warmonger, one thing that she still has very good is her fits. Problem with Warmonger is that she just gets outclassed in everything. She's not the best team fighter. She can do fine in team fights, but she's not the best team fighter. She's good 1v1er, but her power went down a bit because all the other offense in the game was buffed and Bash offense became weaker. But she's still a good 1v1er, she's a good 1v2er, she has okay ganks, and yeah, that's Warmonger in C tier. Next character I would like to place is Duksha. And Duksha is also in C tier. Duksha thing is, the first thing that I have to mention about Duksha is like how broken her tier 2 is, and you know how important it is. Once you get tier 2 on Duksha, it is literally a game changer. OS removal definitely helped her be a bit more offensive, and that's very good. The problem is she's an assassin and she's not the best team fighter. In team fights she's quite weak. In ones she is good, but she just gets outclassed by other characters. So I think she belongs in C. Next character is Kensei. Kensei is very similar to Nobushi, but it's just a bit worse. He's a very good team fighter. He's bad in ones. He's okay in 1v2s. He's not the best ganker. He's actually a very bad ganker. One thing that Kensei has is like a little bit more, he has more range and faster speed with worse recoveries, and Nobushi has Bleed, and Blade is very good. Okay, moving on, Kyoshin. Kyoshin is a very good team fighter Punisher. Like his full guard is very good. You can do so much damage and be safe at the same time. So that is very good. In team fight, offense wise, he doesn't have the best things. He has okay hitboxes. He's an okay team fighter. He's not the best 1v Honor. He's better 1v2 than expected. He can do work in 1v2. He's just good everywhere. He's just okay. He's on C tier, okay, obviously. And next character is Peacekeeper. Peacekeeper is a good 1v Honor. Bad team fighter. She has a pseudo gank and has okay fits. Oh, and I forgot to mention, Kyoshin's fits are good. Kyoshin's fits are really good. Like that helps him so much. Right? Peacekeeper fits are bad. And moving on, last character in C tier is Warlord. So Warlord used to be S tier, and Warlord dropped down hardcore, man. Warlord dropped from mandatory pick to like not even the last season being mandatory picked. There were like 2 teams out of 4 that picked Warlord, me being one of them. And now with OS removal and crashing charge nerf, they're just characters that outclass him right now. So yeah, I mean in this meta with Raider, Shikoki, Orochi, Janju, I just don't see place for Warlord. So I'm sorry, man, I made you for a long time, but it's time to move on. And it's time to move on to D tier as well. So first character in D tier, Tiandi. Tiandi is an, let's say, more better team fighter than some of the characters above. Thing is, he just has super selfish fits. He's not a good team character. It's okay to go into a mem and stomp a bit. He's not the best 1v1er. He's not the best team fighter. Obviously, he's okay in both. He's okay 1vxer, actually very okay 1vxer. Not good ganker and has selfish fits. So I'd say he's D tier. Could maybe make a point for bottom C, but it's just that in a team composition, this character just doesn't synergize with anyone. So yeah. Moving on, Griffin. Griffin is here because he still has really good fits, obviously. Not the best anymore, not super good anymore, but he has good fits. He still has good, worth mentioning fits. He has okay team fights, okay ones, just like everyone, and not the best 1vx's. Actually, somewhat weak 1vx's. He has good zone, which is very important. Same zone as Zanhu, but Zanhu also has Unblockable. Moving on, Conqueror. Conqueror is just very good in mid. He's not the best team fighter. You can really get away from Conqueror and his offense. He doesn't have his thousands of option selects anymore, so it's not so good in ones, not so good in twos. Really good in middle though. You can really bully people in middle in ones, but that doesn't really happen. Not the best ganker, he's just the div here. Next character here is Hitokiri. So, actually, maybe Hitokiri should be above Conqueror. Yeah. Hitokiri is okay at everything. She's very good at 1v1s though. But in the other areas, she just falls a bit. Actually, she doesn't fall short. She's really good. She's like better than Tiandi and Griffin, that's for sure. Like I actually think I'm gonna put her here. Small apology. So Hitokiri in City. I think she's very good in 1v1s. Obviously, she is not the best in 2s or 4s, but she has hyper armor, so she can definitely attack and be offensive. Doesn't really have things to open up. She has an unblockable, but it's not really good hitbox. So yeah, I'd say Hitokiri in C tier definitely sounds better than D tier. Like I think you could do things with her, like way more than with Kong, that's for sure. But she's still not a great hero. Moving on, Warden. Well, Warden is just mediocre everywhere except once, and even in ones he's not so good. And ones don't even really matter. He has not the best fits, like not the best fit at all right now. He doesn't have a gank, doesn't have anything remarkable outside. Good offense and good unblockable with okay hitbox. But you know, that can be dealt easily because all these characters have dodge attacks that can be target swap, and he even has a bash dodge attack. And this guy has 400 MS dodge attacks, dodge attack, dodge attack, dodge attack, flip. So yeah, you're gonna, even with the unblockable, you're still gonna have to deal a bit. So it's very hard to even land them. I mean, he just doesn't have the best hitbox on the unblockable as well. So that's one thing that I would also like to mention. Right, next character is Lowbringer. So Lowbringer is safe for clearing minions. He's not the best team fighter. He has a good gank, okay gank, not good gank. I would say below Shaman level, but you know, higher than other ganks. And yeah, Lowbringer did here. Nothing remarkable here. I'm sure this is expected. Moving on, Highlander in the tier as well. Oh, fuck, I forgot to mention. He has really good fits. He has bombs which are not bad at all. Not very good, but not bad. And now we have Highlander. Highlander has okay offense in ones, has good pressure with unblockable in team fights, but is also very vulnerable because you know, he cannot block in offensive stance. But he has the unblockables. He doesn't have the best hitboxes on them, which he suffers from, but that is fine. He has mediocre feats until tier 4. On tier 4, he has the best tier 4 in the game, projectile type, like probably just best tier 4. Not best tier 4. Best tier 4 is this guy's tier 4, but he has a really good tier 4. So yeah, D tier Highlander. Right, moving on the E tier. These characters are not so good, and I wouldn't play them in competitive or even matchmaking. E tier, Valkyrie. That's pretty understandable. She can be okay in ones, but other than that, she's mediocre everywhere. Mr. Warmonger. Yeah, wait. Mr. Shinobi. Shinobi has some things. He has range attacks, which can be very annoying. He has range GB, which can lead to a good gank. He has low HP. He's really fast, but other than that, he's not remarkable in any way. Warmonger and Shaolin. I mean, these guys have been at the bottom for so long. The changes didn't really help them. So yeah, right. This is my tier list for year 5, season 3. You can take a screenshot. I will update this tier list from as often as I can. You will have the link in the description to check out the most up-to-date version of the tier list. If you have anything you want to discuss, I would be more than happy to do it in the comment section below. If you've enjoyed the video, a like is always appreciated, and I will see you next time, probably with the next tier list. I'll do a dual tier list next week as well. Right, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye bye!